Yay Networks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
I hope you guys are having a good week so far. It's the end of the week, and I hope it's perfect for you.
I got the iPhone 15.
I haven't even gotten my notification saying that mine has shipped.
Guys, there's this inside joke all week since I got it that que me creo mucho. I got the iPhone 15, blah, blah, blah. Same shit, different year, honestly. Same phone. It's just a money grab, you know?
The camera quality is really good, though, and the audio quality.
You didn't like it. We went to Disneyland, guys. She's like, okay, you get it, babe, because at least one of us will have it. I tried to use it on her. No, I don't like it. Here's my iPhone 13.
The night pictures have like a weird cast on them, so it didn't look good.
So you don't like the camera?
But every other day, like just day pictures are good.
Yeah. But it's actually really light, guys, and it's nice. You don't get, it's weird. Like, even the little difference in weight, you don't get as tired. Like, when I'm on at night on my phone, and you know how your pinky starts to hurt? Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's a good thing, babe, because now you're on your phone 24/7.
Guys, isn't that weird? We all have this, oh, shit. We all have this little indentation here because of our phone.
That's so
and we're going to evolve with it. And our kids will probably have that, like, our kids' will probably have this indent. Mm-hmm. Till, like, in 50 years, humans will, like, probably have a crooked pinky.
Really? Like, yeah. We'll just be born with it?
Yeah, because we'll evolve to have it, to hold phones better. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in yet again. Sorry I look like crap. I feel like crap. I'm a little sick. I just wanted to put that out there because you guys, some of you will start right away. Oh, my God, Jonathan looks mad. He looks sad. Did anyone else notice Jonathan's not being himself? Oh, my God, are they fighting? Oh, my God, is Jonathan okay? No, guys, I don't have the flu or the cold. I went yesterday to a Broncos game. I know. I said I wasn't going to, but whatever. And I think I got like food or alcohol poisoning. I just feel terrible, but it's not like sickness wise. I just feel like I ate something bad or drank something bad. And I think it was the hot chocolate with vodka or spiked or whatever they put in it.
I think it's just that you were exhausted and then you just want to do more things.
Yeah.
Because you had like 3 hours of sleep probably
3 hours
combined.
Of sleep. Mm-hmm.
And we got home and instead of resting like right away, you just left.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it was all of that. Not if you had.
Well, why do I
told Jonathan, I was like, if you've had food poisoning, you'd be throwing up and
but it's like
shitting
mild.
At the same time.
I say like mild, you know.
But you haven't thrown
Como
up.
me cayó algo mal, not like poisoning.
But you haven't thrown up.
I could if I wanted to. Anyways, guys, we're here to recap a wonderful weekend of Disneyland with our 1-year-old.
Yep, his first time at Disney was so magical. I really, really enjoyed it. And I think that I like doing what Jonathan does. So Jonathan's way of living is always setting up for the worst and like preparing for the worst possible outcome. So while we were planning this trip and like getting ready to leave, I was like, okay, it's going to be a shit show on the airplane because he is just full of energy. It's probably going to be a shit show at Disney because he can probably get overstimulated with how many people there are. And it's probably going to be a shit show at the Airbnb because he's used to his routine and like everything. And I prepared for literally the worst. And I think I was very pleasantly surprised because props to me, shout out to me, because I'm the one that booked everything. And when I booked the flights,
she didn't ask for help.
When I booked the flights, there was a lot of times. There was like, we booked them a month in advance. So there was 5 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m. And I ended up deciding to book a flight at 5:25 a.m.
Guys, we had to leave our house at 3 a.m,
yeah,
which means wake up at 2:30.
Yeah, it was a shit show on our end, honestly, because we were super exhausted and tired. But Franco woke up when we were packing, when we were like getting ready to leave. So on our way to the airport, he was fine in the car seat. Like, he didn't do anything. He didn't even fuss once. At the airport, he was perfect. And then we get on the airplane, and right before we're about to take off, I look at him sitting in his little seat and he's passed out already. I'm like, what the heck? And he slept the entire flight, huh? Did he wake up before we landed or no? No. He
woke up as we landed.
As we were landing, he woke up. So he slept through that, and then everything was fine. He was a little fussy, on our way to the Airbnb because, yeah, he was tired of being in the car seat. But it was just a pleasant surprise, and I think that I'm gonna do that from now on. Just wake him up in the middle of the night so that he could sleep on the airplane, because I think that's probably the easiest for his routine. If we were to get like a 10 a.m. flight, it would be a shit show, because that's when he has the most energy.
It was a wonderful weekend, but would we do it again anytime soon? No.
I honestly
Franco
would.
ain't going to Disneyland till he's 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, I think I love the memories we created, but I think it was just...
No, they were perfect memories.
Yeah.
But I think for a while now, he doesn't need it again soon.
Yeah, I think it was very overstimulating for him, but also it kicked him out of his routine. And honestly, like, just traveling with a toddler is stressful in the sense that the nutrition intake is so bad. You know, unless you buy a whole thing of groceries. But we're not at the Airbnb. Like, we're at the Airbnb for a nap, and that's it, to sleep at night. So his nutrition intake was not that great, and that really, really put stress on me because I'm very on top of him taking in good food. So I think that's why we wouldn't do it again, especially because the food at Disney is bad.
I don't think it's because it was bad, man. I'm saying because there's no need. Like, the next time we go, it's because he can get on all the rides.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I think, I was telling Jonathan, so we were at Disney and we were in line for the beignets. Sorry, I don't know how to say them. Baguettes. And there was a couple in front of us with their 3-year-old daughter, and they started talking. Well, Jonathan started making conversation with them. And yeah, she told us about the Disney hotel, the resort that's like right on California Adventures. Like, you walk out of the hotel and you're in the park. And I was just thinking, like, when he's 5 and he can get on all the rides and he can last from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at Disney, we could do like his big Disney trip, you know?
Yeah. We were talking about our compadres. We were like at breakfast and we were like, what's your guys' like guilty thing to, like, what do you spend money on? And we don't really like spend money on clothes or shoes or stuff like that, but we do spend a lot of money on convenience when we travel. It's convenience, and what other word did Noemi say? Comfort. So with that being said, guys, like, I think next time we go, like, that's the reason, like, this trip was so good, because we spent a lot of money on comfort. But when he's older, we're gonna be able to do that even more, you know?
Yeah, like, for example, we got an Airbnb that was literally 6 minutes away from Disneyland, and then we rented a car because that was probably the most convenient. And then there's so many more things that we could have done, but we always try to get the best things that we know are going to make us comfortable, but also Franco, because you guys know how it is with a toddler at home. So, like, going on vacation and taking them out of their routine and their comfortability at home is hard. So definitely, I think the 5-year-old trip is going to be so cute for him.
Yeah, I definitely do recommend, guys. There was a girl on our Instagram comments. She commented on our picture and she said, don't listen to the people that say, oh, your kid's not going to remember. Honestly, used to be me. Me like, when I used to see parents take their kids when they were little, my aunt took my little cousin when he was like one, también, the first one. And I was like, that's so dumb. Like, you're spending money on something he's never going to remember. But then I was like, it's also like we get stuck on the idea of pleasing your 1-year-old, but no, you got to please yourself as well. Like,
I think it's just the feelings.
But you gotta, like, treat yourself too. Like, that's a treat not only for your child but for you.
Yeah, like, getting
you
to
get
see
to see
them.
your baby smile and laugh and hug Mickey,
and like his eyes light up as soon as we get there, and him actually, like, he says their name and points, and he knows, like, he knew what he was doing, and he knew who he was seeing, and he was having a blast. So I think that I used to be like that too. And I remember when we went to California last year when Franco was around 4 months, around 4 months. All our friends went to Disney, and Jonathan and I decided to stay back because we were like, he's too young, it's hot, he's gonna get fussy. Like,
no, but we also couldn't go because something with your mom. Oh, your mom was with us and not your sisters.
Yeah, so my mom was with us too, and she was like, no, you guys should go. Like, I'm not gonna go because I personally want to go, and I can come with your sisters. Like, I don't want my first time to be without them. So we're like, okay, if we go, we're leaving my mom. If we don't go, we're not missing out on anything, because we hadn't even been to Disney ourselves, so we wanted to experience that too. So there was a lot of things that were like, we're just gonna stay back and like hang out with my mom, take her around California, do whatever. And I got so many bad comments, guys. Literally, like, you're so mean. Like, yeah, he's not gonna remember it, but you are, and this and that and that. I'm like, and at that time, I was so set on my decision that I was like, I don't care. Like, I didn't have FOMO. And now that I think about it, I'm like, I still don't. I think because Franco would have not known anything around him. We would not have gone on any of the rides. It was gonna be our first time there, so it would have been kind of like, like, I didn't think it would have been as special as it was when we went for the first time together, and then now with him. So I think that 20 months, that's how old Franco is right now. I think that is the perfect age because they can actually recognize all the characters, and like, it's just so cute to see them actually walk around, So yeah, I think I'm very pleased with that decision that we made. And I would 100% recommend, especially because the lady that was with us, or that was in front of us with her 3-year-old daughter, she was like, people say that they don't remember, but at that age, at like 20 months, they remember. Like, they start to remember things. And we see it with Franco. He remembers everything,
Yeah.
So it was just wonderful. It was magical. Bro, are you good, my boy?
Anyways, yeah, like I said, will Blanca and I be back very soon? Yes, but just us two.
Yeah. Also, another thing that I did want to say is we didn't vlog because I know, like, it's so funny because people have inside jokes with Jonathan living in the moment, but no, like, this time we actually did.
Yeah.
And I think it was so special because we didn't have a camera on anyone's face. It was like mostly pictures, mostly like taking pictures of the important moments at Disney. And we were just present with Franco the whole time, and we really took it in. And I just think that if we were so focused on vlogging, we'd be like, wait, but come do this, do that, like,
and
different things.
Like, we created core, well, I did, I can speak for myself, like, core memories.
Yeah.
Like, that random memory you have that you'll never forget.
Yeah.
Like, I created those with my son, like specific moments. And I even told Blanca, like, I was like, babe, take a picture of this. Remember when I told you in the car way back?
Yeah.
Because I was staring at him. I'm like, one day he's going to be 15 and hate me. Be like, I hate you, Dad, and close the door.
Yeah.
But then I'll look back on these pictures and be like, oh, like, after Disneyland, you were so tired and I held you and you were so cute,
Yeah.
So I'll be like, whatever. You can't be mad at me forever.
Yeah. They'll come back around when they're like 24.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, it was a great time. And we felt very blessed, don't you think? Like, to be able to provide this experience for him and for us, because I mean, it's his first time going to Disney at 1 year old. And we went for the first time when we were 24. So it was really, really special. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Guys, with the seasons changing and the holidays right around the corner, especially here in Colorado, I do get a little bit of the holiday blues.
This time of year can be a lot, and it's natural to feel some sadness or anxiety about it. But adding something new and positive to your life can counteract some of the feelings.
Therapy can be a bright spot amid all of the stress and change. Something to look forward to make you feel grounded and give you the tools to manage everything going on. I love therapy because it gives me the proper tools to manage these holiday blues.
And I love therapy because I like having someone to talk to when I feel a little bit of seasonal depression.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp.
Visit BetterHelp.com/spillthebeans today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/spillthebeans.
Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/spillthebeans.
On with the episode.
It is just very unorganized, and there's too many freaking people there, and you can't even, like, you literally walk and it feels like you're walking and touching shoulders with everybody, but it's super fun. It was amazing, honestly. I think it was so nice. It is very overpriced, and I think we're very privileged to be able to go and like experience these things. But yeah, I think the perfect age would be 20 months, and then when they're older and they can actually get on all the rides, because in between it's kind of a shit show, wouldn't you say? Like, imagine when he's 2 or 3 and he's like super in his toddler years, and they were trying to get around and he's like not napping.
Like, what do you do with a toddler when it's an hour wait, you know? And it's not like those lines where you can move a little bit. Sometimes there's like the railing and you just got to stand in one spot. That kind of sucks for little kids.
That's really tough, but it was fun. And honestly, guys, the one thing I came back with was the cream cheese filled pretzel. So good.
And you got that on accident because Mami got it, right?
And she left me half And she's like, you can eat it. And I was like, really? And I tried it and I was like, what the hell? This is the best pretzel I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
So good.
The beer was really good in Disneyland too. I got one just for shits and giggles and it was really
in
good.
California.
Guys, the light show at the end is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Show?
The water show. Well, there's lights.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the other girl that gave us these bracelets, shout out to her. What's her name?
Casablanca.
She told us that the light show in Disneyland at night is even cooler.
10 times better.
Yeah.
So that is next on our bucket list. On our bucket list is to go to Disney and like actually experience the whole thing, because we've been there by ourselves without Franco and we still didn't even get to experience half of it, you know. So that is our next. That's a surprise that we'll talk about later.
What?
Our baby moon.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, guys, yeah, we had a wonderful time. Everything was amazing. On the way back, Franco slept the entire flight back home too. Mm-hmm. He came back obsessed with Minnie and Buzz. So I think he has his first crush, Minnie. He literally, we had yesterday at the airport, we had to buy him a mini, you know, like the apple juices that have the characters on top. We had to buy a Minnie Mouse one because he just couldn't, like, he could not stop talking about it. He just kept pointing, saying Minnie, Minnie, Minnie. I took him, he knew exactly where it was. He grabbed it, and while I was giving him yogurt, I told Noemi, I was like, hey, can you pour all the apple juice out and put water in it? And she did, and he's been drinking water just fine out of it, and he's been having a blast. So I don't know, it's just magical. It's a great experience for both you and your kids, or even like, I think on my bucket list is to take my parents and like have them get on all the rides, you know?
Yeah.
Like take your parents. If you don't have kids, take your parents, take your siblings, your nieces and nephews. Like it is so magical and it's such a cool vibe. Have you seen that guy on TikTok that goes to like Home Depot and picks up guys that are like looking for jobs, and then he takes them to Disney?
No, I haven't seen
Oh
Disney.
my God, it's so
That's
cute.
crazy.
It's like these old men, like Mexican men that are looking for a job, but they go to Disney for the whole day, and he like buys them merch and like they get on all the rides. It's so
Wouldn't
cute.
that be funny that like I get it's for content that he's like changing their lives, but he probably got home and is like, Señor me llevó Disney, and the kids are like, you know?
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh,
And then he gives them money at the end of the day. He's like, here
cute.
for your time. So
That's
cute. But yeah, guys, it was a blast, and it was just core memories, and we got some cute pictures too.
Today's Monday, guys, the day before Halloween. So happy Halloween if you're watching this right now. And sorry for the non-spooky, just overall month of October. We're so sorry we didn't do costumes. We didn't do scary stories. Let me tell you why we didn't do costumes this year. Well, at least me. Because my costume that I'll be using tomorrow for trick or treat is one of those big inflatable ones where like it looks like I'm on top of a horse. So I can't really wear that right now. And Franco is a little bit scared of Halloween stuff right now. He's in his prime, like you know when babies, you show them like The Exorcist, they're not really scared. They don't know what it is, but he like realizes what is scary now, and noises scare him, like screaming and stuff. So we didn't want to traumatize him with any of that because we're scared that he's going to grow up and not like it. So we'd rather him approach it by himself, not force anything on him. So we took a break from Halloween this year. We didn't even do Tearing the Corn, which is our favorite activity. It's a haunted maze, no haunted houses, no decorations, no scary movies. So yeah, but hopefully next year we can go all out.
Yeah, I think next year will be a little bit different because he'll be almost 3, so he'll be in the age where it'll be more intriguing to go get candy. You know, like we don't know exactly how tomorrow's gonna go. Tomorrow's gonna be so cute, but you guys know, I have always talked about how there were Halloweens where there was snow on the ground and we were trick-or-treating, and I never thought that I would have to experience it again until yesterday. We got home and it looked like we had arrived into a Hallmark White Christmas movie because everything was snowed, and then it's freaking cold, it's freezing, it's not the vibes, and that's how it's gonna be tomorrow. So we're gonna literally have to put 3 bundles of clothes on Franco under his under his costume tomorrow. So that should be fun. Hopefully he enjoys it, even though he can't get to eat all the candy.
Well, it'd be funny. He's gonna trick or treat but not be able to eat any of the candy.
He'll probably have a sucker.
Yeah, one sucker.
Yeah.
But also, guys, we also wanted to say thank you so much for all the positive feedback we released from the other podcasts and just our gender announcement in general. I always say this. people that are happy for other strangers is such a crazy thing to me.
It's a flex, honestly.
Like, honestly, you guys show so much love because we haven't met in person, a lot of you guys, or you just don't know us, and you are so happy for us. And it's like, thank you so much. You guys made our week, our whole month, our whole year, because you guys are so nice, you know. And we got so many private DMs, and like the fact that you taking time out of your day to DM a person because you're so happy for them means a lot. So thank you. DMs, Instagram comments, YouTube comments, we saw everything, guys. So we really appreciate you.
Yeah, I think that if you can sit there and be happy for someone, it's such a flex. Like if someone tells you news and you're genuinely happy, like that is such a flex for you to be able to do, because usually unhappy people can't be happy for others. And I did get a comment, well actually I got a DM saying like, you guys gave me the ick. I can't believe that you talked about like a girl wearing a crop top and it being sexualized or whatever. And I was like, you can't sit there and tell me why I can't fear the things that I fear. Like that's what we fear, period. And I'm not gonna apologize for it because we haven't been girl parents. So yeah, honestly, I feel like I'm entering my era of I don't care. Like if you guys don't agree, if someone doesn't agree with my opinion, cool, then you don't have to. But if you sit there and like you're nasty about it, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna block you because I don't care if you don't agree with my opinion. But yeah, for those comments, I'm like, and it's nice that it's only like 1 or 2 out of 1,000. But yeah, so that's what we always want to thank you guys for being so kind and nice and happy for us, because there's just a couple little
and that
bitches.
You guys were also so happy for Franco. Like it's crazy. You guys are so happy for this little kid. And like when you become a parent, there's this saying that the people, what does it go like, I don't care if you like me or love me as long as you love my child. It's like if you're loving me.
When you see people love your child, it's unreal.
It's like a parent turn on.
Yeah, like if you don't,
a word.
if you don't have to be nice to me, but if you're nice to me and then you're nice to my child, like you 100 points, brownie points. And yeah, that's how we like to make friends too, like people that have kids, because they understand. And I think it's crazy for me to think about how I was before I was a mom, because I'm like, what? It's just like, you just don't know. And when we hang out with people that don't have kids and they see like certain things, or they say certain things, or they make certain comments on like things that go on with toddlers, I don't get mad or upset, but I kind of just laugh, because I'm like, just wait till you have your kids, because everything changes, and you don't have to know what it is like to be a parent, and especially if you don't want to be. But when you are, everything that you've ever thought about, you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have said shit because look at me, donde estoy. But yeah, it was just, everything's great. We're super happy. We have our girl on the way. Franco's gonna be an older brother. Christmas is coming up.
Guys, life is perfect, a little too perfect, and it scares me sometimes. I'm just that person. Like at the end of Spider-Man, it says prepare for the worst or whatever. And it's like, you know, sometimes you get scared. Anyone else get that anxiety? Like, my life's a little bit too good. Like, I hope,
going good.
You know.
I think that it's just, I think it's nice to finally be happy, because I mean, we've gone through some shit this year, you know, and behind closed doors, like with families and stuff, it's so hard because you never know what's coming. And yeah, Jonathan says prepare for the worst, but some things that have happened, I'm like, I could have never prepared for this, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just nice that we're nearing the holidays and that everything's looking good so far, and that we're blessed enough to have a healthy 1-year-old and then a healthy baby girl on the way. You know, I think that's at the end of the day, that's what we're most thankful for.
And that we're thankful that we can spend time with them, you know, like I don't have to go get a traditional 9-to-5 job and like miss out the steps and the words of my first, you know, kids and stuff. So I really do appreciate you guys for all that. You know, you guys watching these videos, liking and buying like our Vibe and Cares merchandise and stuff like that. Not only are you helping the people getting like, you know, therapy, but also us. So we really, really appreciate you.
Yeah, I feel like you guys have changed our life in so many ways. And we always talk about it. Like I've heard people, and I'd say influencers say, like, yeah, you guys helped a lot, but like it's also been my hard work, you know, and I've put so much work into this and stuff. But it's like, no, literally without the people, without you watching or listening right now, we would not get to do the things that we do. And it wouldn't be a privilege to sit here and spend time together and be stay-at-home working parents.
Like I could make the sickest videos and put the most work and not sleep and work, hustle and grind and do all this. But if you do not watch our videos, nothing's gonna happen. So I get those influencers that said, well, without me grinding, without me this, I also deserve my own credit. Like, yeah, honey boo boo, but there's creators like the Pokey guy. All he does is this. And went viral overnight, has 3 million followers on TikTok, and he didn't do none of the hustling.
Exactly.
So it really is just you guys. So thank you.
Like when we sit there and thank you, we genuinely like, I think Jonathan and I have never lost sight of that we would not be who we are and where we are if it wasn't for you guys watching us right now. And I think about it, that's like my, I wouldn't say Roman Empire, but kind of my Roman Empire is that every single time I'm doing something, like when I was at Disney, I was like, holy shit, like if it wasn't for the people watching my life on YouTube, then I wouldn't be able to give Franco this right now, probably. Like maybe we'd be saving up, making a savings account for that, like in 2 years or for his fifth birthday. So when I was at Disney, like we were getting to do everything and like getting to take pictures with Mickey and stuff. I was like, whoa, like it's really thanks to them. And I never lose sight of that, guys. And I never ever feel like I take it for granted. I don't think, right?
Yeah, no, you never do, babe, because this is a perfect scenario. And to the girl watching, it's okay. I don't want to make you feel bad, but as soon as we go into Disneyland and Franco sees Goofy, we're recording his reaction, and it's like a very special moment. It's the first 5 minutes. No, the first minute inside Disneyland that we step in, we pass the gates, and we're already with our phone recording Franco's first reaction to the first Disney character, which is Goofy. He's right in front of the train, and we're ready. We're preparing for this special moment. We're looking at Franco because he's about to see him, and a girl runs up to Blanca and's like, the normal, oh, can I get a picture? We love you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like Blanca stopped everything that she was doing. She passed me the phone so I could at least record Franco, and she went and talked to her, asked her for her name, and like talked to her. And never said, oh, can you wait for this? Let me do this. No, like you put that person, that girl in front of you as the priority. And then you went over to Franco, which was like really amazing of you, because I don't know, like that was such a special moment for us. But you're like, no, without her, without everyone,
I wouldn't be having this
even be here
moment.
in this place. So shout out to you, babe, because a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people like to talk shit about us, or like, creídos. And when I say us, I just mean influencers in general. Yeah. But, they don't really see, like, if I don't say this little story, and I don't want to say it to brag or anything, but if we don't tell you guys these little stories of how Blanca really is, then you never know,
Not how Blanca really is. Not you exposing me.
How you really are as a good person.
I know. And I think it's so funny because I didn't see it that way, which is, it's just how I think. And, Stacey's podcast went up today, and I got a comment on there saying, like, Blanca, you have to stop caring about being kind to others. And like, if you're not getting it reciprocated, why are you still doing it? And I'm like, what? I don't do it for convenience. I don't do it. I'm not kind to people to get the same energy back. I just do it because that's just how I am. Like, I cannot be mean to someone. And so when she came up to say hi to me, like it wasn't like, oh my God, like we're having this special moment. No, I was like, oh my God, hi. Like if I was a friend that I hadn't seen in a couple of years. And it's just nice. Like when anybody comes up to me, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, because you guys are also very respectful. I drop it and I'm like, yes, hi, what's your name? What do you do? What are you here for? Do you live here in California? And I actually genuinely want to get to know you. And I do. And it gets to the point where like a couple girls are like, they get kind of flustered because I'm asking all these questions. But then I'm like, no, it's because like I know that you guys feel like you know me, but I don't know you, because I don't see your life. So I want to know who you are. I want to know what your name is, where you work, why are you at Disney, do you live in California, like tell me everything, And yeah, they're so kind. I met this other girl when you guys were in line getting the beard. Do you remember saying that?
Oh yeah.
I met her and she DM'd me later and she was like, oh my God, I got so caught up in our conversation that I forgot to take a picture. And I was like, oh, that's sweet, but like at least we got to know each other. So it's really nice. I really like meeting you guys, and just because like putting a face to the people that watch us, I'm like, holy shit, like you're the reason I'm here, So it's really.
And sometimes the thing I want to say on Instagram, guys, when I post those thank yous, it's like, it's too long for me to explain like on Instagram, but like I want to do it here. It's like, because you guys know how like vulgar is such a strong word.
I just feel like you speak what you think.
Yeah, so I'm like, why do you care? Like, why do you care about me? Like, I'm gonna just take me for example. I'm not gonna involve my son or Blanca because I know you guys like, people for who they are and their content. But at the end of the day, it's like, why do you like me so much? Like, why do you care? Why are you congratulating me over a baby girl if I was a trash man a couple years ago? And I'm talking like this because I'm seeing myself as a third person, guys. And I'm not saying it like in a mean way. I'm like, why are these people so nice? Like, why are you so nice? I'm sure you have problems at your house. Maybe you have money problems. Maybe you have health problems. Yet you're still being nice to me. Like, that blows my mind. And it makes me so mad when other influencers don't maybe feel the same way. Or I've been in rooms with influencers when they start talking bad about like their fans and subscribers. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just get the ick and I walk out and I'm like, that is crazy. Like, do not take this shit for granted. And, we certainly don't. Like,
No.
every single day of the, like, if I, because sometimes we'll walk like in the mall and I get like a hint that someone recognized us. I'm smiling at them, like encouraging them to come say hi, because they're shy. Like, it's happened to me. I've been at the airport and I've seen some famous athletes and Blanca's like, go get a picture with him. I'm like, hell no. Like, what if he's mean? What if this, that, so I rather just, but no, like, thank you guys. And it means the world to us.
Yeah, I think that it's just crazy to see because I follow a lot of content creators that I would love to meet, right? And there's this specific YouTuber that I've watched for years and years and years, and she's not relatable at all. I feel like she's definitely very, I would just say rich, so she lives a very rich lifestyle. And I've loved her ever since I was like 13 years old. And I remember when, if you guys know and you were in the space, there was like VidCon and like people would go and like YouTubers got invited and you could go meet them and get their autographs, and it was like meet and greets, and it was this huge convention of YouTubers. And I remember there was never chisme pages on American YouTubers, but there was this one girl that her video popped off and she was just talking about how she met this influencer that we all love and that she was so rude, and I think that stuck with me because at 13 I was still not a YouTuber. I never thought that this would be my life, but that stuck to me because I was like, how shitty would it be for someone to look up to you, to want to relate to you, to watch your stories, buy what you promote, and then they meet you and then they get the ick for you.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Like that is my biggest fear. And a lot of people are like, well, you're just so scared of getting canceled. To be honest, I'm not scared of getting canceled. I'm genuinely scared of someone getting a bad impression of me. Like, that is my biggest
And that's
fear.
what I wanted to comment to that girl that said that you were walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
That we were walking on eggshells, like talking. It's not that we're scared of getting canceled. We also don't want to like be rude to someone's situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if I say, like, the reason I took back what I said earlier about the Disney thing or whatever, it's not because I'm scared of getting canceled. It's because I know there's people that are struggling financially and can't afford those $100 for Disney. Yeah. So that's why I take back to not be mean to that certain type of person. Or sometimes you say something about kids or moms or something and you're careful of what you say. It's not because we're scared of being on a chisme channel or canceling. No, it's because we don't want to be rude to that person maybe going through that situation. Yeah,
like, I genuinely don't want anybody to feel like mad at me, or someone that looks up to us that's going through something and we comment on it. I don't want them to be like, oh, I loved you guys, but you just made my situation feel worse, so I don't want to watch you again. It's not about being, because that's not canceled. Like, it's not like we're gonna go on a chisme page and then they're gonna cancel us forever. But it's like losing that one follower that probably was so genuine, like genuinely liked us. That would genuinely hurt my feelings. And that's why I am the way that I am. So every single time, like, I feel like I sound like a broken record because every time something happens, I always thank you guys. I always make sure, like, to say that if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And I can't remember who I was talking to. It wasn't another influencer, and they were like, you do know that you're also the reason why you're here, because of all the work you've put into it. And it's like Jonathan was saying, it's like, yeah, but I could put so much work in, and if you guys aren't watching us, no one's making the money, no one's doing anything, So I'm like, no, I am thankful for them, because no matter how much work I do or don't do, if we don't have an audience, then it doesn't matter. It's not going anywhere. It's not influencing anyone. It's not uplifting anybody else. So we just genuinely really thank you guys for everything.
Yeah. I feel like we needed this rant because whenever there's a saying like, before you pray to God, you gotta, say what you're before you want something, you're supposed to say what you're thankful for or something like that.
Yeah.
So like with those whole Disneyland thing and the pictures, like when I see pictures of us at Disney, I don't think about the moment. I think more of a like, wow, I'm so privileged to be able to do
Me
this.
too.
You know? So that's why we're so thankful for you guys. We don't want to like sound like kiss asses or be like, okay, we get it. You guys are thankful. But like we do, because if we've ever said something to make you maybe upset, because we're not going to always have the same opinions. I might be on a roll. You might be 10 podcasts in and like me. And then the 11th podcast, I'll say something that you're just not going to like. It's going to irk you the wrong way. And we don't want, it's okay. Like I have my best friend, Luis and Marco. Sometimes we don't agree on something. Doesn't mean like we don't like each other. No, it's just we're not the same people.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this and I've ever said something like that or Blanca, at the end of the day, even if you're mad at us, like we still appreciate you.
Yeah, me too. It's nice to think
like
about.
You want to break up with me, but I'm not gonna let you.
Yeah.
Like we'll take a little break and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like you're not gonna break up with me. Okay.
Yeah, it's just how people say, like even with your spouse, the person that you love the most in this world, you're still not gonna agree with everything that they agree with. So it's like, yeah, I don't agree with that, but I still like you as a person, so I'm gonna stick around. So that's how we are. We're in a relationship for life, girl. But yeah, it's just nice to like be able to share things and relate to you guys, and then still get kind of constructive criticism back, because I do get it. Like when people say, oh, it's because you're walking on eggshells, it's because you don't want to get canceled, you want to do this, it's like, yeah, there's some truth into that, but it's not the canceledness. It's like I really truly don't want to lose you guys as viewers because I said something that you probably didn't agree with. But I'm also very, I don't know, I think that just because the way I am and the way that anything anybody says, like I take to heart, like I take things very personal. So I think that that's why I talk and express myself the way that I do, so that I hope that if someone takes it personal, it's not in a bad way.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just been crazy because before Jonathan and I met any other huge influencers, like I'm saying, you guys, we've known Lulu and like all our close group of friends for a really long time, but it was just us. And then we started meeting bigger and bigger influencers. And when I started meeting other influencers, and like I'm talking influencers that have more than 2 million followers anywhere, and I started seeing the way that they expressed themselves and the way that they talked, I always saw, and it stuck out to me, that they didn't realize the impact that they made on people. And aside from that, they didn't realize that the people, like those 2 million on your Instagram, on your TikTok, on your YouTube, are the reason you're there. Like they were just kind of talking like, oh, it just happened and I'm here, So I don't know. I think about that all the time. Like when I walk into stores, like growing up, I remember the only reason I knew big name brands was because I had friends that were well off, right? So like UGG, Justice, Hollister, even Aeropostale was a privilege back then. And I remember always being like, oh, I wish I could afford this and I wish I could afford that. And I remember saving up for my first pair of UGGs that I bought during Black Friday when they were on sale. And I still have them. They're the black bow tie ones that are in the garage. I still can't get rid of them. But actually, I think you threw them away, didn't you?
I was going to yell at me.
So now that I do have, the money that I could probably afford some Uggs and stuff, even when we go to buy the Uggs, first of all, I'm still thinking about, holy shit, if it wasn't for the people that watch me, I wouldn't be here. But then I feel guilty. And you've seen that. You feel guilty too buying anything for yourself, especially like if we go to Walmart, we're like, hell yeah, add it to the cart, girl. But if we go to the mall and stuff, Jonathan's like, no, babe, like, I already have a pair at home, and so it's like crazy to think about all these other people that like splurge on so many things and like post it online. I'm like, holy shit.
I was trying to think while you were talking. I was like, what did I just tell you that I felt so guilty for?
And
it was the iPhone 15 in the store. I told her, like, I was like, babe, I feel so freaking guilty. Like you work and for the iPhone and stuff, and it's not like a new Mercedes or anything, but like, I was like, damn, like, it's not like my phone is in shambles and it's like, it stopped working not so good anymore, the iPhone 13. But I could make it work for another, year. Yeah. But like, it makes me feel icky when like I have to buy something expensive like that. And
or even because remember how we were talking with Luis and Noemi about the data plans at Verizon, when we had to be so careful about using our data because it would go over, and then it would probably charge you even more. But it's like, even just having unlimited data is such a privilege, you know? So it's like, we always think about these things. So yeah, we just wanted to tell you guys kind of the way that we think in the back end.
Yeah. I feel like nothing triggers this like little thank you rant that we're having more than like we just said, you guys being nice to our kids.
Yeah.
And I know our baby girl isn't born yet, but you guys are already so nice, and you're saying that she's gonna have Blanca's eyes in my face, and then like this, and she's gonna be so cute. And you guys say that we're good parents, and it's like you see like a 30-minute vlog at most, and you're assuming I'm a good parent, and that means a lot because you think I'm a good person, you know. And I think that's Blanca's scared to offend people with the whole cancel thing, and it's like, no, we're not scared of cancel culture. Blanca's scared of offending people or losing you guys, and me, you guys know damn well I'm not scared of cancel culture, but I'm scared of you guys thinking that I'm not the person that I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'm scared when someone says like, oh, like Jonathan me hace, like, girl, like I have holes in my underwear. Like, I am not presumido. Like, I am not like when they make it all like not on these underwear, but I'm saying like in general, like you did my laundry the other day and you're like, babe, why do you still have these? I was like, they still work, you know? So it's like when someone like paints a picture that I'm something else that I'm not, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like I'm the last person you should be like this and that, or like girl, like if you knew, like right now I'm trying to like help, you know, kids with disabilities and foundations, and it's like, no, just because I said something that you don't like doesn't make me the bad person, you know what I mean?
It's like, we just don't have to agree on everything.
We just don't, exactly. And that's what I'm like, no, I'm not scared of cancel. I'm scared about you thinking like, remember, like I'll literally lose sleep over the smallest things, guys. It's so funny. We have this, I'm not gonna say her name, you know, but we have this girl that she's part of our, you know, therapy through Vibing Cares, and she, can I even say, okay, she works, yeah, I mean, it's not like they're going to go look for her. She works at Chick-fil-A. And I remember that the first time I met her, she was super nice, and she came outside to give us her food. And she said something about like in relation to what, you knew her, but I didn't know her. Okay. So let me paint you this picture, because it's just a funny story. She comes outside and she hands us the food, and take in mind, Blanca knows her, but I don't. So then she says something in relations to like that, like she kind of hints that she knows us. So then I say the words, oh, you know us? Like, but I sounded so stupid. Like, oh, you know us? Like, como si fuera famoso, you know, like, oh, you know us?
Yeah.
So then do you know that, what was it? Like,
I don't even know what you said.
Oh, because I have this conspiracy, guys, that every time I go to Chick-fil-A, they make me park.
It doesn't matter how big the order is.
How big the order. Sometimes I'll just get one chicken sandwich, and they'll make me park. So I have this conspiracy that they hate me or that whatever. So then I asked the girl, I was like, oh, so do you know who we are? And then she's like, yes. I was like, okay, well, then I explained the whole situation, and we laughed about it. But then when I left, literally pulling out of the parking lot, I told Julius Blanca, I was like, babe, did I just freaking say that? Like, do you know us?
And I told him, I was like, I've gone to school with her my whole life. And she knows us personally.
And obviously I didn't mean like, do you know us as in like, do you know? No, I meant it like, so I can continue with my story, my conspiracy. I just need to make sure that you know. Well,
because we're regulars there.
Yeah.
Like we go to Chick-fil-A like 3 times a week.
Yeah. So I needed her.
So Jonathan wanted to know, he's like, is there a picture of me there that they say when he pulls up, park him because we hate him or because he does something, you know? So when he said that, it for me, it didn't come off too snobby.
Yeah, snobby, that's the word.
But when we left and like we started thinking about it, I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like I hope that she doesn't feel what we're feeling right now, which she didn't, because she's super nice and kind.
Yeah, and
now, she's like my friend from a long time ago. Yeah. So I told Jonathan, and he just started spiraling, honestly.
And literally for the whole rest of the day, I was like, should I message her? Yeah. Like, should I tell her what's her name? Go
back
and
like
we did
apologize.
Try to look for Instagram. Remember, we couldn't find it until my sister, she also used to work at Chick-fil-A. She found it for us, and then that's how we reached out for Vibing Cares. But yeah, little shit like that, guys. I know it was a long, stupid story, but like, I feel icky for that, you know, until this day.
So. Yeah, and I think that it's just, for us, I think that me and you get a lot of imposter syndrome.
That's why I think we haven't moved to LA.
Yeah, because I think any time that Jonathan and I are doing like expensive things like at Disney, sometimes I would be there and be like, I don't deserve this. Like, why am I here? Like, why do I get to bring Franco? Why did my parents get to experience this? Why did, and I just start spiraling and I'm like, I don't even deserve this. And then I go back to being like thankful, and like I literally sitting there in line thanking God, like, God, thank you so much for popping my video off on a lot of people's screens and like, making me who I am today. But yeah, I think that's one of our biggest things is just getting imposter syndrome and feeling like we don't deserve this life. Because I feel like for a while, before Vibin became what it was, you had a lot of imposter syndrome and you hated what we did. Like, you weren't as happy. Mm-mm. Do you remember that? When you felt like you didn't do anything? Like, Jonathan was editing and uploading for both our channels before we had our team for Spill the Beans. And he was so unhappy, It was such a privilege, but it was one of his, like, lowest years, I would say.
It's funny that Vibe and Cares is supposed to be like a mental health thing to help you guys, but it actually ended up helping me the most as well, because it helped my mental health. Like, I didn't feel like a man just being here editing on the laptop.
And I think it saved you. Like, it literally saved you and our marriage, in a sense that for me, having Jonathan home, I was like, babe, this is such a privilege. Like, why aren't you happy? Mm-hmm. And for you, it was like, because I'm not doing what a man should. Like, I'm not going to work. I'm not providing. But I'm like, you are providing. Like, we're making money. We have this joint business. No, I don't feel it. So he's always wanted to help people. When he told me about Vibe, and I just always support what Jonathan says. And when he started, like, taking care of everything and shipping and designing and ordering, like, when he does inventory or when he's ordering shirts or when he's talking to our printing place, I feel like you're the happiest, like, just being able to organize that, being the boss of something and like the CEO, whatever. So I really like that Vibe and Care saved him, and then now it's helping save so many other people too. So it's like, that's what we talk about it so much. Like, our brand it's not just like, oh, just go shop something that we own. No, it's like, you're literally buying something and then giving people free therapy that is then saving and changing their life. And
then the owners as well, like us, like you guys are building a healthier marriage. Like, the fact that I can leave and go work at my parents' basement, I've been headquarters, we always joke about, is healthy for our marriage, And
the fact that all these stats about like depression and suicide and mental health, like, that's not only helping our marriage, it's helping us raise mentally healthy children too. So it's just like, I know this sounds so sappy, but we had to say it. Like, you guys are the reason we're the way we are, but also the reason that you saved us, the reason why we're in a good mental state so far.
But not for long, because our girl is gonna freaking turn our hair green.
Good luck, Charlie.
Nos va a dar canas verdes, guys. Because did we talk about the ultrasound, how much she moves and stuff?
No, we just had it last week, so we haven't talked about it.
Oh, so that's why I say that comment, guys, because this girl is moving. We could not get a good side profile of her face, like the ultrasound pictures. We couldn't
get a good picture of her face, period. I remember with Franco, they took a picture of his face, like looking at the what's it called? The ultrasound thing, stick, and it was like his face. And this one, the best thing she could do was a blurry side profile, because she just kept moving. Every time she would try to get to her face, she would turn around away.
You could see her go like this.
Yeah.
Like, turn. As soon as the doctor wanted to put the technician on the side, like, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. And then, we just figured out that she's super active. And I mean, the technician was like, that's good. Like, a healthy, active baby is a healthy baby.
And that she's a big girl.
She's measuring a week ahead of
she's in the 91st percentile. Yeah. And guys, I know maybe it's too early, but le digo a Blanca's like, se ve bien cachetona.
Oh, yeah.
Like, her little face, So yeah. My sister was a big baby. She weighed 10 pounds. And I was a big baby. But I'm just saying, like, women in general. Like, I mean, the women in my life. And so R.I.P. to
R.I.P. to my vagina. She's 15 ounces so far. How many pounds is that? Is that even a pound?
15? No, 16 ounces is a pound. No?
Oh. So well, yeah, she's 15 ounces. She's measuring a week ahead. She's super active. I literally doesn't let me sleep because she's always moving and jumping and doing crazy things in the belly. So yeah, I keep telling, like, every single time we see a little girl, because girls are sassy, dude. Like, they walk with purpose. They, just the way that they dress, because at like age 4 or 5, they start choosing their own outfits, so they start wearing like their tutus and like their princess costumes. I mean,
Hemali on story, she just wants to wear the dress.
Yeah, and like Catalina también. So I'm like, agárrate, because like Jonathan wanted a girl so bad, and I love that for him. But I'm like, just watch. Like for me, I'm not even scared. It wasn't fears because I know how sassy girls are, and like growing up with my sisters, I'm like, dude, God, please help me because girls are hard. So now I'm just telling Jonathan, I'm like, just wait. A ver cómo nos va.
Sometimes I keep, just because I feel like a little out of it today, guys, I keep wanting to use the wrong word. But I was saying that like I sometimes feel like a creep or like muy metichon when I see someone has a baby girl and I ask them a lot of questions.
Yeah.
How is this? And when you say she has a good relationship with the dad, the person's probably like, why do you care so much? And I was like, I just want to mentally prepare myself.
Yeah,
for,
because we
like,
really
how
don't
to be
know
the best dad. Like, because right now with Franco, like we could picture that this works for Franco. Being like this, like, you know, but with this, when this little girl comes, it could be like completely out the window. Everything you know about Franco, it's not gonna work on her.
No.
So like, what's the best way to have a relationship with a little girl? Like, cause the other day, Franco right now is in the hitting stage.
Yeah.
So he like, when he gets mad at me, he wants to hit me. So then I was like, and then so I tell him, you know, le agarro la mano, like no me pegues, blah blah blah. You know, we try to do gentle parenting. So then you were like, agárrate cuando llegue tu hija. You're gonna like, basically Blanca was hinting that I'm gonna be a softie and let her hit me, right? Mm-hmm. So then I was like, no, like regardless if it's a girl not or boy, like she has to respect me. I'm not gonna let her hit me just because she's a girl, you know. And then you're like, see, like I'll bring that up when she's here, you know. So then I was like, oh shit, like.
Yeah, I think one of our biggest things it's breaking that generational curse of treating a girl and a boy different.
Yeah, I'm big on that.
And that's our main thing. Like it's like the stereotypical where, oh, le voy a servir a Franco, but she can serve herself because she's a girl, you know? Like, no, if I'm going to serve everyone, I'm going to serve both my kids. I'm going to treat them both the same. And it's the same thing where like going out. You know, like if Franco can go out till 12 a.m., she can go out to 12 a.m. too. Oh, you don't like that? Okay, then we're going to make them both come home at 10 p.m. You know, it's like kind of those things so that they don't grow up. Because I feel like kids grow up being like, well, you're dad's favorite anyways, you know? So I don't want to give them more room to talk about that. You know?
Yeah, because people tell me the typical like, oh, you're going to like melt. You're going to love her so much. Yes, I'm going to love my daughter so much, but I'm not going to love her any more than Franco.
Yeah.
Or that's what I keep saying. I'm talking like if I'm in the past, like that's hopefully what I can say when I have my daughter, you know, because, you know, obviously look at me with Chai. Like I'm more like lovey with Chai because she's my little girl instead of Ozo, and I treat Ozo all tough and stuff. But it's like, hopefully I'm not like that because I don't want, like, I want to show the same type of emotional love to my son.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be my son's best friend. I want him to tell me everything. I want him to be 15 and still kiss me, you know? I don't want him to be like, oh, well, that's tough, you know? Like, I saw this TikTok. Did you see it? It had like 5 million likes on TikTok. And it's like dad versus daughter. And it's like that they go camping. And the dad's like to the son, like, get the wood, get through this. Dad, it's heavy. I don't care. And then the little girl's like, Dad, can you open this? And he's like, yeah, of course, honey, you know? And it's like, okay, to some extent, yeah, voy a chipilar a mi hija.
Yeah.
But like, am I going to do it to the point where I make my son feel bad?
No.
But look, just like I'm talking like this for my daughter, I'm also going to revert, or for my son, I'm also going to reverse it like on the positive side, you know? Like, yeah, I'm saying that I'm not going to love her any more than Franco, but I'm also going to respect her, just like you said, the curfew thing. But there's a lot of families where like they prioritize like, oh, no, our son has a soccer game, we have to drop everything. Like, yeah, I know you have ballet, but you don't have to go. No, like, no, if, like, the thing I joke around is, like, who's ever doing it, you know, like, whoever loves me, like Coach Prime, I know it's a long analogy to use, but, like, if my little girl's doing, her soccer team is doing great, then, sorry, Franco, we got to go watch her, you know? It's just, like, Franco, if Franco's team is doing really good, we'll go watch Franco's, you know? Yeah. I'm not going to prioritize on love. It's, like, on, like, I love you both the same. Now, who can, like, who is in the moment deserves the attention. Does that make sense?
Who deserves
Hopefully I worded that the same. Like, the love is going to be the same. It's just like who requires attention at that specific moment. Yeah. Because I love you guys equally.
Yeah.
You know, say my little daughter, because I feel like I can kind of see with my parents, my twin brothers, they play a lot of sports and my little brother doesn't. So they're always at my twin brother's games. They're always traveling for tournaments for soccer. And yeah, it's not that they love Isaac any less, the little one. It's just he's not in a lot of sport or any sports. So it's like, no.
Oh, he
like,
doesn't have hobbies yet that they can go and support.
Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, if it's because the hobby requires more time, then let's go do it. It's not because I love you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that our main goal and priority is just to be very present parents and to treat...
Break curses.
And to break generational curses and to be equally as involved with both of them, being that they're going to be different genders, because we are so traumatized with how the oldest brother gets treated and how the daughters get treated, period. You know, that is probably our main traumas. And Jonathan is an older brother and I'm a daughter, and we know, like, we can recognize it.
That's what I'm happy that we get to break two curses at the same time.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Jonathan, I want, it's like raising Franco, I want him to grow up to be emotionally smart and emotionally available. And with that comes a lot of you being able to, like, accept it, because I see so much when parents of a little boy are very hard on them. For example, I've seen in an instance where a boy is like 13 and like they go and like cry to their mom or hug their mom, or like they're kissing the mom, and then the dad's like, oh my god, you're such a sissy, like you're so soft, you know. And I'm like, you should be encouraging that, because aren't you doing that to mom? Like, aren't you hugging and kissing mom? Don't you go to mom when you feel scared? And you know, and that's what I always tell Jonathan. Like, I want to make it so clear that Jonathan, I'm like, babe, you are his safe haven. Like, there's no one in this world that he should trust more or be more comfortable around than you. You know, so it's like, as much as you want to raise him to be a good, hardworking, tough man, like, you have to put that same energy on his mental state, you know, and make sure that he's emotionally smart and available. Because I feel like a lot of machista parents have been raising a lot of emotionally unavailable guys, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think God does not make mistakes. So he's like, all right, I know the trauma that you carry, Jonathan, and I know the trauma you carry, Blanca. Yeah. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to fix this with other kids, you know?
And like, if you talk so much shit, then do it. You know, like, if we talk so much shit about the traumas we have, then fix it. And I hope, like, I feel like God is like giving us these children, and he's like, do better and make sure you break all those curses. Yeah. Like, okay, I'm going to try my hardest.
Like, with my daughter, I always think like what you just said, like, oh, le tienes que servir el plato, you know? I'm like, I'm going to teach my daughter, like, you're only serving the plate to your husband if he can change your oil. Yeah. Like, that's the perfect, like, no, like, can he change your oil? Yeah. And no? Okay, then don't serve his plate. Yeah.
Or if he like,
can he do this for you that you have to do that? Like, no. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, don't marry someone that can't. No, that's so superficial. But I'm saying don't require a woman to go out their way to serve these men that are not like ¿cómo se dice? Competent enough to treat you like a queen, you know?
Yeah, and I guess at the end of the day, it's just making sure that we're their best example. You know, it's like how they say we have to raise our children to love and trust us and be comfortable around us enough for us to be who they look up to. Because we don't want, like, us growing up, we're like, well, I don't want to grow up and be like my mom, and I don't want to grow up and be like my dad. But I want our children to look at us and be like, I want to be like my mom. I like who she is as a person. Like, it's that saying that make sure you're the person that your kids think you are, you know? So I'm like, that's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, but we're
out here breaking traumas, guys, left and right. It's like, it's not only like mentally like traumas, but like also like health, you know? Yeah. Like, for me and my side of the family, guys, all my family, like aunts and uncles from my dad's side, are overweight, you know? All of them. My grandma had 9 kids or 8. And everyone, I would say, except my dad. My dad's still on the little thicker side, but he tried to take care of himself. All of his brothers and sisters are really, really overweight. And now with Franco, we've been doing like, you know, we've had to set the foot down, because sometimes your dad wants to like be cute and lovey. And grandparents do it from a good spot in their heart, because they want to love their grandchild. They want to get, like, your dad sometimes behind our back, we found out that he gives Franco soda. Or my dad loves to buy Franco ice popsicles and like se los da, you know, and he loves that he gets to hold Franco, and the Franco, like literally Franco's love language is food. So if you're giving him something he really likes, he'll hug you and kiss you while you're, you know, feeding him. So my dad loves that, and we've had to sit the foot down and be like, you know, like, I know it's cute and you want the attention from him, but
like set boundaries.
But set boundaries.
Like with my family, I've told them no soda. I don't care if it's a sip. I don't care if it's a little bit. I don't know. Like no soda, period. And with your family, I think it's a little bit easier because we do like let him have or try our sweet things. So it's like, yeah. What did you say the other day? You're like, 1 lick Franco, 3 licks you, you know?
Yeah, like,
so
because my dad, he would give the whole paleta to Franco, and I'd be like, no, like 5, 6 bites licks you, dad, and then 1 lick Franco. 5 bites, dad, 1 lick Franco, you know? So you can still enjoy this special moment with him, but like, me personally, on my side of the family, I'm trying to break that. Like, I'm slightly still overweight, and I try my hardest, and I don't want Franco to go through that. I don't want his kids to the point where like the Flores family name like just doesn't have any more overweight, unhealthy people.
That's our goal. I think our goal is just to raise healthy children, period, all around, mentally, physically, and not only for themselves but to help the world. Yeah, because what I was going to relate it to is that right now in the generation that we are, thankfully, I worked at a private clinic, a private women's clinic, and their main priority was to reduce the number of unplanned pregnancies. And I feel like right now this generation's main priority is to reduce the number of people that are depressed and like that have anxiety and that think about unaliving themselves, you know? And I really like that. So I'm like, the world is slowly starting to become a better place because we're shining the light on problems, you know, like, yeah, unplanned pregnancies were a huge problem. Okay, now they're reduced because there's birth control, there's other things. And like now therapy is being a little bit more accessible and, you know, like just everything basically. So I'm like, as we grow, hopefully when our kids are like teenagers or like in their early adult years, they're not going to have those problems where they're sad and overweight and feel like they don't belong or feel like they don't know what they're doing with their life, you know? So I don't know. I think Jonathan and my main priority is to raise them to just think about themselves being themselves. Yeah. Like not to think about any other problems, family problems, money problem, nothing. Like Franco wants to be a soccer player. That's all he has to sit and focus on. And not like, oh, well, mom told me today that like we're struggling on the bills, you know, like I never want any of that to be.
Yeah, but we're not gonna make him like oblivious to it.
No, pues tampoco.
We have to learn there's a perfect balance to making him appreciate things. Like, have you seen the TikTok where the mom surprises her son and it's like, we're going to Disneyland, and then his first reaction, instead of being like, whoa, like cool, he's like, we have the money for that? You know, and he's a little kid. He's so probably like cute. 5 or 4. And it's like, damn, like he's my boy worrying about the finances.
Well, because we wanna raise our kids to be like that too. Like I will always put in as an example my friend, she was very well off, very, I would say, rich, and we didn't even know until we were invited to her house. And then she told us like, oh yeah, I live here and this and that. But it wasn't even that she was showing off. It was kind of that she felt a little bit like oh, is this too much, am I showing off, you know? And we just didn't know the amount of money she had because she was such a hard worker. She was so smart and she did sports and she was such a healthy eater. And yeah, she told us, she's like, no, like my parents don't give us anything. Like we have to work for it, you know?
You were over here thinking she just ate celery and carrots every day because she couldn't afford hot Cheetos.
No, I was like, well, I think it was just normal for me because I feel like a lot of American kids don't eat like Takis, you know? So I was like, why? I was like, wait, have you ever tried Takis? She's like, no. Again, she was sitting there with her veggie sticks. I'm like, oh, can you try them? And it was funny because I would just take Mexican candy to her. I'm like, hey, can you try this? I want to see what your reaction is. And she's like, yeah, growing up, like my parents never gave us, like they taught us the value of things. And that's how I want to raise our kids. Like I want Franco to grow up and be like, Disney is expensive and it's a privilege. You know, I don't want him to be like, yeah, Disney's normal and we go every weekend.
Yeah.
You know.
That'd be Nick.
Hopefully that's how we execute this whole parent thing.
Yeah, but who knows, babe? Like literally, we're over here talking shit and not talking shit. You know what I mean? But I just feel like kids are a trip. Like, you love them so much, and this turned into kind of like a parent podcast. So I apologize for every person that doesn't, but you should kind of take our advice. And you know, this is funny, but whenever we go to a restaurant and I hear a baby cry, I get happy because I'm like, the attention is off of us. And you scream, baby, you cry, like you go, like that could not that's music to my ears when I hear another kid cry in a public place, because I'm like, whew, okay, like we're in the clear. Like Franco is not the one crying, he's not the one screaming. And like whereas like say me without Franco, I'd be like, I've never been the type, because I always had a lot of little siblings, so I've always been kind of like aware of the situation. But I would be like, oh, like why is that baby screaming? You know, like damn, like that's loud, and we're like in a quiet place or something, like in my head. And then, but now I'm like, yeah, you cry, like go, like
let it out.
I don't know if any parents can relate. Like you like when you hear other kids screaming or crying and it's not your own, because you're like, oh, like yes, it's like not mine. You know,
Jesus,
like mine's behaving.
I think what I'm really excited for having a second baby is the fact that I can see everything come into play. You know, like for you, I know it was hard, like you just put that scenario, and it was hard for you to like hear Franco scream at the store. And now if he screams, you're like, oh my God, this kid is literally screaming, but you're not upset anymore. Like I feel like you used to get upset because you couldn't control the situation, and now he screams and you're like trying to redirect it, but you're not like, Franco, shut up, you know, but you're like, okay, do you want this? Do you want that? What do you, let's talk about the elephants, you know, like you try to distract him and redirect his energy somewhere else. And I think that makes me really excited for having 2 kids, because now I feel like you've evolved so much in your dad era that you're going to be not a much better dad, but a more understanding dad, you know, because who knows, what if this baby girl is freaking crazy and like Franco hasn't thrown a tantrum at a restaurant yet,
and it's going to make us appreciate Franco even more. Be like, oh, like you used to cry because you would see Mickey Mouse at Target and we wouldn't buy it for you. Yeah. And now this girl's like, no, she literally went and pulled a fire alarm. Literally. So it's just nice. Place. It's nice to have a little bit of experience under our belt, and also just nice to have grace for parents, because before we were parents, we would get a little bit like, why is that parent doing nothing about it? Like on the airplane, you hear the baby crying, you're like, it's normal, you know? You're like, oh, I didn't sleep because the baby just cried the whole way or blah, blah. But now it's like, any babies in here? Like, can you please cry? Dude, and now it's, if we hear a baby cry, we're like, poor mom, because the baby's crying right now and it's going to sleep later, but the mom ain't. She still has to be a mom, you know? I always tell, like, when we got back from Disney, from the airport, and Luisa and Noemi, you guys know she's pregnant, they're pregnant, and I'd be like, bro, go home right now and sleep. Like, bring it in, because you're going to, imagine how tired you are right now with these 2 a.m. flights. Now, imagine being able to go home and not sleep. Like, you have to take care of this little human being that did sleep, so they have energy, but not you, my boy. Yeah. He's like, damn, I didn't think about that. I was like, yep. So go get it all, soak it in, because soak in all your free time or all your alone time, because you're gonna let go of that when you enter your parent era. And I think that it's nice to know that, you know, it's nice to prepare people and be like, just know and keep in the back of your head that you guys are still in love and married and amazing. Just know that you're going into your parent era and accept it. Like, don't think like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, because then no, like, just accept it, embrace it, and go through it. And when they're one, you're gonna feel way better. I promise. Yeah, like we used to hear a lot of moms, you know, those moms you see on TikTok or in person, they're like, they're a mom and they're like, fuck them kids, you know, like playing. Yeah. And be like, ay, que, you know, que fuerte, like I'm never gonna say. But like sometimes I told Blanca that I was like, babe, we don't hate each other, we just hate Franco, you know, like not in a literal way, you know, that you guys know what I mean, but it's like, we don't hate each other, you know, because if me and her were going to Disney, there would be kind of no stress, we would be lovey-dovey, but because we have this child, it just brings, you know, inevitable stresses. Yeah, like, because you forgot this, no, well, I packed this, so why didn't you do this? Blah, 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 blah. So it's like, babe, just know that we don't hate each other, we just, you know, we hate the situation. And that's what Jonathan's like, that's how we prepared ourselves going to Disney. Jonathan was like, babe, just remember, we're a team, we don't hate each other. Like, we're doing this for Franco, you know? So yeah, it's just like, just remember you guys are in a team and that you're in your parent era. Accept it, embrace it, and when they're 18, you can go back to being lovebirds. When do you say that gets better? Probably like when they're 10 and they're going to school full time. No, I said maybe when you can leave them in the house by themselves. Oh, like 15? 12. 12? No? That feels so young. Isaac, you don't think he need to stay by himself? Yeah, but I would feel bad leaving my 12-year-old home by themselves. I feel like 13. Yeah, when they're teenagers. No, not bad. Like, oh, later we're going to... No, yeah. I'm like, hey, we're going to go on a date night. Do you want to stay by yourself or do you want to come with us? No, it's fine. I'll play Fortnite all night. Or I think it's nice when they're like sleeping in.
until 12 p.m. and you're like, hell yeah, girl. Or when they can make their own cereal in the morning.
Yeah, I think when they turn
That'll be a
12, you
vibe.
can go back to being.
Because you know when you would wake up and like it'd be 6 a.m. and you would go downstairs and watch TV and have a cereal and like you didn't have to wake up your parents. I think that's when it gets better.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Like, because I saw this video of this like 10-year-old the other day on TikTok. He was choking.
Yeah.
And his dad had to come and like do the Heimlich and stuff. It's like, damn, even at 10-year-old, these kids can't live.
You can choke right now at this moment.
Yeah. We don't take stuff for granted, guys. You can still choke on a hot dog.
Yeah, hot dogs and grapes are the biggest
And
choking
apples.
hazard, and apples. But anyways, girl.
Damn, this was a long one, and we didn't even like intend for it to be long.
No, I'm glad that we got to vent to you guys. We had a little therapy session with you. We just always want to let you guys know that we're thankful and that we genuinely appreciate you guys. Like if you watch our YouTube videos, which are a little bit more fast paced, you know, they're curated to be entertainment and they're like 20 minutes long at least, at most. If you're sitting here watching a podcast, like thank you so much. You know, that is amazing. And we're glad that we get to have these rants with you. And that I feel like you guys know us even on a deeper level too.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Con ustedes tengo.
Yeah.
You know, J&J, I could do something on J&J or on Blanca J's channel in life, and they'll come for me, and I'll be like, as long as my Spill the beans people know I'm not like that, or I'm not like this or that,
Yeah.
you guys know the real us, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
They can stay mad, but as long as you guys, that's why like you'll never see me apologizing for stuff on J&J or stuff like that. But on here, I was like, no, like I genuinely care about every single one of you. I remember the people that comment frequently. I remember like when they DM us on Spill the Beans, like I know like they're our friends, you know, like shout out to, I'll just name a few, like Sara, Yolanda. Like I know all of you guys, and it's like, it means a lot that we are like close, you know, here on Spill the Beans. And so, yeah. And if you made it this far, guys, we want to do a little giveaway. So whatever you comment at the end of it, put the cute mouse emoji for Mickey Mouse, and you'll be $100.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
Later.
Yay Networks.